Let me ask you a question. When you see yourself, do you genuinely feel proud of the person you have become? Or do you see someone who keeps promising themselves that this is going to be my year? I am going to change everything about my life this year. But they repeat the same set of habits, the same patterns, and the same set of excuses every single year. Because 2026 is just few days away. And I'm telling you this just to make you realize that time doesn't wait for us to start. Most people watching this video will step into 2026 with the exact same kind of pattern that they had in 2025. The same kind of problems, the same kind of distractions, and the same kind of version that they are not secretly proud of. And here's what most people get wrong. The difference between where you are and where you want to be in the next year isn't some overnight transformation that is going to happen. It's not luck, it's not talent. It's just set of activities that you repeat consistently over the period of time. And before I go any further, I want one thing from you. For the next few minutes, I want your full attention. And if you are a kind of person who is getting that itch of scrolling Instagram and skipping this video, I want you to do it right now. And that's completely okay. This video isn't for you. But if you are still watching and can stick to the end, this video will either push you to act or make you realize that you are not ready yet. In either of those cases, that's a positive change for you. And that's exactly what we are here for. Now, if you actually want to change your life in 2026 and become a better version of yourself, the very first thing that you want to do is changing your identity. And I have seen a lot of people talk about changing their identity via meditation, manifestation, positive self-talk. But what I believe is that you can fool anybody in this world, but you can never fool your brain. Your brain only believes in what it sees. If you say that you are going to be a successful entrepreneur in life and you do only 2 hours of work, how is your brain going to believe that you are going to become a successful entrepreneur? So if you want to achieve certain level of confidence, certain level of self-belief, self-respect, you need to change your identity. And changing your identity means following a certain set of habits and system that will actually make your brain believe that you are in the process of changing your identity. You are in the process of becoming successful in life. Now, if I go a few years back into time, into my life, when I was in this process of changing myself, the very first habit that I implemented in my life was waking up early. And I implemented this by reading multiple successful entrepreneurs, athletes. And one habit that I found in common among all of them was that they used to wake up early. And when I implemented this habit into my life, there were two things that started to happen. The very first thing was whenever I used to wake up early, 4:30 a.m. and I used to get this sense of feeling that when everybody is sleeping, I'm working on my laptop. I'm building something that is taking me closer to my dreams. So that feeling of accomplishment made me realize that I'm getting closer to my dreams, and it made me a bit confident on myself. And the second thing that happened is getting extra hours of work, 3 to 4 hours. When the society is waking around 8:39 a.m., I am working from 4:30 a.m. So it gave me extra 4-5 hours of time, which made me realize that I am moving faster than the normal society and I will reach my destination quickly. So these sense of feeling started to build up on daily basis. Now, everybody is in different conditions, different stages in life. Maybe you wake up at 10 a.m. and I totally understand. But what I want you to do is reduce the time at which you wake up. For example, if you wake up at 10 a.m., make it 9. If you wake up at 9 a.m., make it 8 a.m. By doing this, you will automatically get this feeling of accomplishment on every single day basis. And this feeling will alone make you reach closer to your dream. Now, everybody who is watching this video will have different kind of problems, will have different kind of habits, because we all live a different kind of lives. But what I can sit here and bet is that there are certain activities, certain set of habits that you do on every single day basis, that you already know that you need to avoid, but you just keep doing it again and again and again. For example, is scrolling. You spend all your 2025 scrolling Instagram, scrolling social media. that you knew that this is not going to take me closer to my dreams, but you were still scrolling for 1 hour, 2 hour every single day. So what I want you to do is, for once in your life, sit down and write down all the activities that is taking you away from your dreams, that is slowing you down. And once you figure out those activities, try reducing the time of those activities. If you scroll for 1 hour, make it 45 minutes. If you scroll for 45 minutes, make it 30 minutes. Slowly and swiftly reduce those time of negative habits, because if you are not going to take this seriously, your 2026 will again be the same replicate of 2025, and you will not make that positive trajectory that you want in your life. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about in this process is actually important, and that is doing any kind of physical activity. Maybe you are going for a run, maybe you are doing hours of workout, maybe you are playing any kind of sports. But my point is, when you start working on your body, your appearance change, you get in better shape, and when you see that transformation happen, you become a more confident version of yourself, and it directly helps in the process of identity shifting, right? But I have to warn you that you don't have to become those kind of guys who believe that self-discipline is all about doing workouts, because I have met a lot of my friends who believe that they are very self-disciplined just by going to the gym, just by doing these kind of workout. So I don't want you to be like that. But yes, you have to make sure that you are working on your body, because when you work on your body, your physical appearance change. Now, what if I tell you that you can steal years of experience, years of knowledge from someone who you want to become in life? And for some reason, we all know answer for this, but we just keep ignoring this, which is reading books. Now, you have to understand, when somebody writes the book, they write everything about their journey, their problem, how they overcame those problems, how they became so successful person that they are today. And we just keep ignoring this. And when I was starting out my journey, I had this habit of reading books, which helped me drastically. Today I read very less books, but at that time when my mental health was not good, I didn't have anything to do. I just kept reading books. And what I found is, there are certain things that I implemented from those books in my life, and it drastically changed my life. So what I want you to do is also implement and read these books, because these are years of experience, years of knowledge. No college, no school, no tuition teacher will give you ever. You have to, if you want to become a successful person, you have to think like a successful person. And if you want to think like a successful person, you have to read successful person. So start reading these kind of successful people who have figured out everything in life, so that you can also take some pieces from their stories and implement in your life. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is fixing your financials, because let's be honest, I don't care how good you look, I don't care how good your physique is, but if you don't have your financials sorted, nobody will care about you. You will never be able to reach the best version of yourself if you don't have your financials sorted. And the very first step towards sorting that financial is learning a skill. I know this is a very basic step, but this is the most first step that you have to take. And I have seen my friends talk about that you don't need any kind of skill while doing a business, and they are so wrong. They don't understand that they need negotiation, sales, marketing, product knowledge, all these kind of skills while building any kind of business. So I want you to pick a skill and start learning it. 1 hour every day, 2 hours every day. Slowly and swiftly increase the time that you give that skill in order to learn. And I just want you to make sure that you follow these 2 steps. The very first step that you need to take care of before choosing any skill is that you make sure that there are people in the market who are already selling those skills and earning good money from it. Because suppose you started learning a skill and just to realize after 6 months that it is very hard to sell. And the second thing that I want you to make sure is that you are learning something that you are interested in, right? Because it's gonna take time, maybe 6 months, maybe 8 months, in order for you to perfect that skill. So it's a long journey, long process that is going to take time. So you can't give up in the middle, because if you give up after 2 months of practicing that skill because you got bored, then you have to start from all over again. That is something that we cannot afford. So just make sure when you start a skill, find out something that you are interested in doing and stick for at least 6 months, right? So these are the two things that you need to make sure that you are taking care of while picking a skill to learn. Now, the last thing that I really want to talk about is improving your communication skill. Because I don't care if you are the most skilled person in the room, but if you don't have the knowledge on how to communicate properly and sell your services, you will never be able to become extraordinary in your life. You have to understand that the only difference between a CEO and an employee is that CEO knows how to sell their services, and they pay you very little amount of money that you are doing the work for, right? So I want you to work on your communication skill. And me personally was someone, just few years back, I wasn't even able to speak in English. Whenever someone asked me a question in English, I used to answer them back in Hindi because I didn't have any confidence in my life. And the way I have transformed myself is by doing two things. The first activity that I used to do every day on a regular basis was recording myself in a camera and speaking for 30 minutes, anything about my life, journaling. And I used to record myself for 30 minutes every single morning. And the second thing that I did was reading books aloud. Whenever I used to read book, I used to read aloud, and I used to make sure that I don't fumble in middle of the words. I make sure that I read very confidently and increase my vocabulary. So these were the two things that I implemented in my life, and it actually helped me. So believe me if I say, if I can fix this, if I can improve my communication skill from someone who didn't have the confidence to speak a single sentence in English to a person who can record directly in front of the camera in English, so that's you can actually change this. You can very easily transform yourself.